Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons: The Second Age. How are we all doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
My pencil immediately ran out of lead, but I'm good otherwise.
Perfectly
Shit.
timed.
Here, let me just javelin one across the Atlantic for you.
With that in
Tiny
mind,
piece of lead.
who wants to go ahead and remind us of exactly what happened the last time I played?
Someone else do it, please.
Let's see. So where did we can go where we started off. We started off talking to we started off talking to the Dragonborn, right?
Yes, you negotiated between the Dragonborn and the White Dragon.
Oh yeah, the meeting was about to begin. Yes, that was quite something. So yeah, we helped out with the meeting between the Dragonborn and the dragon. Terms were made, which both sides accepted. Hopefully, they'll live up to them. After which, we also decided before we're gonna just abandon them, we'll try to help out a little bit. So we scavenged some food and some supplies. Well, yeah, just general supplies. Made a wood cart, and whilst we were doing that, we also stopped by the little village that had been basically decimated to help out a little.
Yes. Dropped by in Nightjacky.
Most of the session was probably filled with us discussing how we were going to go about helping them and what they should do. And then, after that was all settled, we headed back home for the first time in like a week again.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't sit still apparently.
And Valentine's Day special.
Yes, because when we came home, Stani decided to take Elizabeth up on her offer for a drink. However, things did not go as planned, and it was basically a setup for a date.
Yep, she set me up with a very shy, also book nerd who plays chess.
Yes. Karina Sternen, Kari.
Shy chess nerd.
Yeah. Less complaining, more just confused.
Yep.
Yeah, I do enjoy how.
As Kari was confused.
Yeah, I like how you're both just complaining to Stani. It's like, we don't do people, please.
Yeah. Yeah. The first part of the date, in heavy quotation marks, was just us ribbing on Sidani, being like, "Why would you think this was a good idea?"
She tried.
She
I mean,
has yet to be proven wrong. You got along.
I do also like though the second her back was turned, she'd been like, "No chess." The second her back was turned, "Do you want to play chess?" Sure.
Yep.
Although, yeah, that was gonna require some brushing up on the old chess skills.
Yeah. I'm
Whew.
gonna practice some chess.
But that won't take long.
Wait, does Grim know chess?
I think I am proficient in chess.
I believe Grim is proficient in at least one game.
I have a vague
I can't
memory.
remember if it was chess or dice.
I have a vague memory of it being chess because I remember coming in at the end of when
Yes.
Grim was being made as a character, and the whole reasoning was, "Oh, Grim's a tactical mind. He probably plays chess." And I was like,
Yes.
"Yeah, I guess that makes sense."
Yeah, it is chess. It is indeed chess.
Yes. Yeah, Sidani is also proficient in it, so.
Nice.
God,
Damn.
that
Just
tracks.
start a chess club at the Amber Eagle. Let's
Yeah,
go.
for real.
Oh yeah, let's have a chess club.
Yeah, me and Arya with our +1 in.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence.
Well,
No, sorry,
we'll have
+0 intelligence. Sorry.
no, we'll have an Ivywood Market chess team. 4.
There we go. God, what a mess.
Yeah. So yeah, we ended it with the end of the date, which was just them playing chess.
Yes,
And
you
Elizabeth
played chess, you lost, and we faded away as we didn't have time to continue onwards.
Yeah.
But yes, I think with that, we will resume in the on the dawn of the next day, with the four of you awakening in your new chambers within the almost finalized Amber Eagle compound.
Beautiful. I imagine they're just slightly bigger.
Well, like I assume like we
Oh yeah.
we have comfortably sized rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
These buildings are pretty big. It's hard
Yeah.
to get a scale of them.
yeah.
Give it a week. Elizabeth will be tiny and crowded again because it'll be that full of books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
the map.
shoutouts to Luka's map.
Yes. The shout outs to Lucas map. I was gonna say yeah. The map
Yeah.
is just for reference for where everything is. It is not to scale by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But yes, you are.
I
looking
did
at the
briefly
beautiful
consider
beauty.
making all the rooms inside of the
Yeah.
house, and then I was like, "Fuck that noise."
And then you were like, I have a life to get back to.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for looking at the beauty that is this Sims castle.
Hell yeah.
I know you said Sims moving castle because I watched Howl's Moving Castle recently.
It'd be dope if it was a moving castle, but
It
it's
is.
not.
It is
Wild.
sadly not a moving castle.
And the next, like, it wasn't quite in the budget yet.
Yeah.
We gotta
Oh,
fight a few
powerful
more
enough.
dragons.
But now a powerful enough wizard.
Yeah.
You can make a magnificent mansion out of thin air, but you can't make a moving castle.
Not yet.
Well, you know, like if you just
That's-
summon the castle every day slightly further.
That's you know how all
That's
the
the
best
saddest moving castle I've ever.
no, because you know how all the best
Yes.
wizards have like their spell. It's like their name and the spell. Obviously, you've got Liamon's tiny hut, etc., etc.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Elizabeth's moving castle.
Is that really the spell you want to be known for?
9th level spell. It's just a big moving castle.
Like
Oh my
honestly,
God.
if you're gonna go big, not like just make like a floating castle like in the sky.
Yeah. That'd be cooler, I think.
Elizabeth's floating castle.
That does sound pretty insane.
It would fit as well because air genasi.
Yep.
Well, we're already working on Agiad's arcane orrery, so
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like that's probably one of the things that like, if for whatever reason we come back in the third age, that's probably a story that will be told.
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of which, Elizabeth, you have plans to return to the Arcane Academy.
Breakfast and academy.
Uh-huh.
Norm.
What are the rest of you doing?
I have some letters to send.
You do have some letters to send, which I also need to read, but
The basic gist of the letters is I'm lying about being in a romantic relationship with Jaldrum.
Yeah, wait. What is the lie that you ended up coming up with?
So I'm just presenting him as one of our allies for the moment.
God.
A foreign dignitary / ally.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And we'll just ease them into it.
And then, oh no,
that's
we
the
did.
goal.
Somehow we don't have enough guest bedroom.
There's only one bed.
Oh no.
Oh,
God, we're the
we
worst.
don't quite. We don't quite have enough guest bedroom.
As
so
we
we
like
got all
quickly
trashy-
close all of the doors to the very much open guest bedroom.
Yeah.
just invite the entire village over. It's fine.
To fill
a
up
good
the
point.
bedroom.
Invite
Thank
enough-
Darn.
That's the point. We invite enough people that they fill up the guest bedrooms and Jaldrum's left out.
Yeah,
But the thing
it's a
is-
shame.
If you want to do that, you're gonna have to explain that to the rest of us.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I mean, I just think that you all are underestimating my abilities to sneak into someone's room if they leave their door unlocked. So
True.
oh no, that's not gonna be a problem.
But yeah, there's gonna be. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I was more wondering about the sound echoing in the hallway after you've snuck in.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Yep.
I don't anticipate that being an issue, but
I mean, yeah,
who
cuddling.
knows?
That's fair enough.
There's two options there. One, just cuddle. That doesn't make noise. Two, get a gag.
Or just don't make that much noise.
Yeah, that's also an option.
Anyway, what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I guess there's only one thing one can do on a morning like that. Is peacock around.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
You-
what?
Peacock.
Well, being
Gonna walk around and look impressive.
He's going to parade around his new, like, almost
Yeah.
finished fortress and be happy with himself.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Look,
Gonna fluff out his feathers.
look,
No, I
there's
fully support this.
Hold his chin high.
Grim
Yeah.
slaps top of keep. This baby can hold so many mercenaries.
God.
Surely that should be like. Surely it should be Grim looking at like the one buying the keep, and then it's Tiff just slapping the top.
Yeah.
This keep can hold so many mercenaries, and Grim's like, ooh.
Just like slapping her hand like on the table with the plans.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This bad boy can fit so many mercs.
yeah.
Kelariis, what are you up to?
I mean, technically, I do have a letter to send at least. Or I guess two if we're also gonna.
Mhm.
I guess we could probably just send to Lily instead of sending a letter because we have no idea where the fuck they are.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I'm sending a letter to my family.
Okay.
And yeah, I think otherwise probably just helping out with like whatever training is going on.
Yes.
Kind of the thing I do, or if they need help like lifting heavy shit or moving things or whatever.
Anybody need anything lifted? Flexes?
As I flex.
Yep.
Flex.
Yeah, like that's a good point actually. Elizabeth probably also has letters to send, and also I'm kind of tempted to like Elizabeth just like probably tries to sit near Sidani at breakfast and just goes, thanks, by the way.
I get she smiles and says, "Oh, so you liked it then?"
I mean, yeah, she seems nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you got on.
You're right. She's really good at chess.
She like looks at you in mock disapproving and then smiles and just says, "Yeah, I figured that was going to happen."
I think you were gone about 10 minutes before she suggested it.
Okay, I thought you'd last a little longer than that, but
People bond over games.
You know, I've never heard chess as an euphemism, but I feel like this is about as close as we got.
Amazing.
I'm gonna go up to my room and play some chess.
Play some chess, if you know what I
Oh
mean.
my god.
Yeah.
God.
Oh god.
so
Gonna capture my bishop.
excuse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the four of you set about doing your various things. Elizabeth, I assume you are casting teleport shortly after you are prepared to go.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, in that case, we will
Saying goodbyes.
follow Elizabeth to Argentellrand. You arrive, much as you're accustomed to at this point, in the teleportation circle of the tower. You make your way down to the research areas where you have the area designated for your orrery, where you find names. It's not in this document.
Professor Guy.
One moment. Professor Anarian Galanadel and Professor Morn Oakenlock, who are standing in the chamber, busying themselves, much as they have been the last few times you've seen them. Upon hearing / seeing you enter, Professor Galanadel looks up, sees you, waves and offers like an awkward grin, and says, Elizabeth, you're back. Good. That small problem I mentioned previously,
Has it gotten bigger?
it might actually be a large problem.
Okay, so what is this problem?
Um,
Let's just get right to it.
At which point, Professor Oakenlock takes a couple of steps over, sort of interrupts the conversation, looking slightly sheepish, and says, "I'm afraid I think I'm to blame for this. We were running some tests, Professor Glanadell and I. We trialing the methods to make the process more efficient, like we'd suggested before you left. And I had a grand idea to run some preliminary tests. Nothing grand scale, and of course not using any of the delicate components that are required for the main ritual itself. Just a sort of thing to get the wheels moving and check that the efficiencies that we think we'd made were having the desired effect. However, once we started the whole thing up, the energy field was not discharging properly. At first, I thought I'd made a mistake in the calculations, and then it sort of stopped altogether, and we thought, with you on your way back, then we'd take a look in the morning and give it another shot. However, we've booted it up this morning and done our best with it, and now it's not generating anything at all.
Okay, that is less than ideal. But please don't feel bad, because is this not the point of experimentation? To find out what does and does not work.
I was hoping you'd see it that way.
At which point Elizabeth's she wants to have a look at what it's doing.
Sure. Give me an Arcana roll with advantage because you designed this thing.
Cool.
Okay. So
Slow morning.
Immediately upon investigating the Orrery, it is inescapably noticeable that it is not functioning the way it should. And for the life of you, you cannot work out why. Everything is in its place. Everything is within tolerance. The alterations Professor Galanadel and Professor Oakenlock have made are there and evident. However, there's no reason for it to affect the performance in the way that is doing so. This thing, it is, for all intents and purposes, it is it is intact, but there is no the arcane essence that should be flowing through it is just it's draining somewhere. It's like you're trying to fill a bucket, but there's a hole in it.
There's a hole in my bucket, dear Ira. No, I'm not going through further through that song. Weird. I guess, can I try pumping a little bit of magic into it?
You can. What do you want to pump into it?
I think we'll just... obviously I've teleported. That's already gone. I might just put a 5th into it.
Okay.
Just to see what happens.
Okay, give me another Arcana roll, this time just flat. Okay.
That's much better.
So you put some magic through this, through the apparatus. And much as expected, it flows through it and immediately dissipates. However, as you watch the magic pass through it and begin to distribute through the device, there's a point where it stops. And as you take a closer look at this, it is basically underneath the central arm of the orrery. There is an attachment. Something that is not on your specification and was not in any of the plans that Professor Galanadel and Oakenlock put forward. It is almost indiscernible from the untrained eye, but were it not for the fact that you drew the plans yourself, you wouldn't know that it shouldn't be here.
I mean, I think Elizabeth then would just say, "Did you write down every change you made?"
They both nod in eagerness and sort of say, "Well, yes, we followed the process as closely as we could."
Did someone else add anything? And she'll just like tap it, just to make a little bit of noise and draw their attention to it.
They both sort of bend down and take a look. They just sort of look at you and sort of say, "I don't understand."
At this point, like, okay, what would it take to just remove this? Because it's clearly what's causing the problem.
So it has basically been like attached directly into the inner workings, so as to be indiscernible from the actual workings themselves. You can. It's within your ability to undo quite easily. It'll probably take you like maybe an hour or so, just to make sure that removing it doesn't damage any of the parts. But it'll take you a little while. Like whoever installed this, like they must have had time to do this very, very carefully.
Okay. So at this point, as we're just going to turn to the two of them and say, give me a little bit of time. I think I can get this working again. You two can. Well, I imagine you have classes or preparation that he's doing.
They both sort of like look at each other, nod a little, and say, "Well, yes, we got plenty of things we could be getting on with. Are you sure you'll be all right?"
I'll be quite fine on my own. Don't worry.
Okay. They look at each other, look a little confused, and then just sort of leave you to it.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna take it off.
Okay.
Actually, I think. Well, first, I'm gonna put an alarm on the door.
Okay. You cast alarm on the door.
Yeah, just a little mental ping if someone opens it.
Okay.
Or starts to open it.
Good to know.
And then yeah, I'm gonna take this apart.
Okay. Yeah, you spend about an hour and a half disassembling this thing. And eventually this component just sort of comes away in your hand. And as you're sort of like turning it over, its function is very, very simple. It's essentially just an arcane diffuser. It stops arcane current dead, no matter how much you put through it. You think to yourself, it's very lucky that they didn't put the atrine in, because it could have drained the atrine flat in a matter of like maybe an hour or so, and that would have been a real pain.
Right. So, where's all that excess magic going then?
It is
Can't just vanish.
That is true. It is essentially just being, for want of a better word, it is essentially just being diffused into like harmless energy, essentially.
Okay.
It is essentially venting the equivalent of like low level magic radiation, quote unquote. Like not enough to be like overtly harmful or cause any lasting damage to anything.
Yeah.
It's just being like sort of diffused into the atmosphere as ambient magic.
Yeah. I think for now I'm going to stash it away in an inside pocket.
Yep, you stashed it away.
And yeah, might as well try turning the thing back on.
Okay, yeah. With only a few moments of alteration, the Orrery sort of like spins up into position and then just doesn't do anything because you haven't given it any command yet. But it just sort of sits idle and it seems to be functioning.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see that it's turned on again.
Yeah. Well, on is subjective when it comes to magic, but yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just happy it's working again.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, I don't. I guess at this point she'd go back. She'd like just take time to review over notes, look at what they changed, review what they did while she was gone, and just sort of see if they nosy back in after a time, or if anyone else tries to come in. Because last 8 hours.
It does, yes. So you spend a couple of hours reading through the week's worth of notes and logs. It seems like Professor Galandel and Professor Oakenlock did. They didn't do a whole lot of actual work on the device itself. It was mostly they applied the changes. They applied the changes that you had approved previously, and then they spent some time discussing how best to test it without you present. They didn't actually do like a whole lot of work on it, but they essentially charged the Atrine a bit. They like put various kinds of magic through it to see what effects it would have, but otherwise, not much. Give me an investigation roll. Okay. So, you notice that like all of the logs are written from the perspective of Professor Galandel and Professor Oakenlock, but at multiple intervals they mention like getting lab assistance from students. You've been doing this before. When you were working on it yourself, but from their discussions and your knowledge of what how secure this experimentation chamber is, this place is locked whenever you're not using it, and actually most of the time is locked when you are using it. Theoretically, the only people who've had access to it are the professors and whichever students they brought in to help work on this stuff.
Knowing who we're trying to use this on, though, they could easily slip in as, say, a student. Or just get a student to do what they want. One of the two. I'm just going to do I also want to do a quick detect magic.
Okay.
See if there's anything magical that shouldn't be magical.
Okay, yeah, you cast Detect Magic. There is an alarm spell on the door. There is a distinctly large and fluctuating energy source from the Orrery and the Atrine. Other than that, the room is pretty much empty, other than some minor enchantments on the small upper windows. Which are basically just for soundproofing. But yeah, nothing that you would find suspicious.
I mean, how small is small?
The small windows.
Yeah.
They're like they're basically like slit windows with a thin pane of glass in them. Probably no more than a foot tall.
Okay. Just wondering if someone could have slipped in.
Possible if they were transformed into something small. But that would also require the windows to be open, and you don't recall anybody ever opening a window since you've been here. In fact, you're not even sure how to open the windows.
Okay. Or if they open.
Well, you presume they open, but I guess looking around, it looks like you need a long pole with like a thing on the top to turn it, and it will open the window.
Okay. Regardless, someone's definitely been in here and tampered. Where they shouldn't be. And yeah, if no one's tried to show up, I'm just gonna go back to experiments.
Yeah, nobody arrives within the time that you spend reading. That's not uncommon because most people are in classes at this point.
Yeah.
It's only usually when you've arranged for something to happen that people have been busy at this time of day.
Exactly.
So yeah, you go back to running some tests. A cursory evaluation on the Orrery. The efficiency alterations definitely seem to be having an effect. It's perhaps not quite as strong as you would have liked. It is still reducing the required energy intake, but yeah, just not by as much as you'd hoped when you were theorizing.
Well, making notes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, she's basically just working until someone comes in, at which point she'll, like, depending on who it is, she'll probably point out what was going on.
Yeah. So after a while, probably like 3 hours or so pass in total. Probably a bit more than 3 hours, maybe like 4 hours, before Professor Oakenlock returns. Professor Galanadel is not with him, but Professor Oakenlock returns. He unlocks the door, steps inside, your alarm triggers, and he sort of steps inside and says, I'm back. Any luck?
Yeah. It's working not quite to the effect we thought the modifications would have, but it's had an effect and it's working.
Oh, that's good.
At which point she'll reach into her inside pocket and take this thing out and go, at least once I removed this, it was.
He, like, do you pass it to him? He, like, extends a hand.
Yeah, if he extends a hand, I'll give it to him.
Yeah,
and
okay.
she'll just say, it's basically been blocking whatever magic we put through it.
Yeah, he sort of examines it and says, yes, it's a diffuser. I have to admit, I've seen these before in a number of arcane and artifice-related constructions. I guess he passes it back and says, I understand how it works. I'm afraid it's not my field of expertise.
No, but someone attached it.
Why?
I mean, I really hope this isn't the case, but I can't help jump to the conclusion that someone doesn't want this to work.
He sort of, like, looks bemused, so says, you suspect some sort of sabotage?
I mean, it's certainly the angle I've come to for the moment, but I don't exactly have evidence.
I'd find that highly unusual. I mean, it's not unheard of for students to tamper with other people's experiments, though that's usually down to interdepartmental jealousy. I don't see why this project would be targeted.
How many do you normally have? Well, how many students do you normally bring in, and how many supervise them?
Between myself and Professor Galanadel, no more than 5, 6.
And you're both there?
For the most part, yes. The students don't go anywhere near tampering with the machine itself. They're simply here to observe and record and make observations. I don't think I've ever let any of them anywhere near the machinery itself.
when someone's coming in while the students aren't, well, no one's in. If someone has attacked this maliciously. I don't want to make any rash, big changes in how we've been doing things here at the moment. But I guess keep an eye out.
He sort of nods and says, "You really think somebody is infiltrating the academy to sabotage this machine? I mean, I understand its potential, but it seems counterintuitive almost. You think they'd lodge some sort of formal complaint first, at least, but nobody even knows we're working on this."
Yeah, that's why I don't want to make any big moves just yet. Just keep a close eye on the students, and maybe we should look into safe-proofing the room a bit more, just in case.
He nods and says, "I haven't seen any signs of being tampered, and the door is locked every time we depart. I'll look into it, of course, but..."
But yeah, with that unpleasantness out of the way, might as well keep doing what we were doing.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. What can I do to help?
Yeah, at this point, I think it's just
Yeah, you
yeah,
do science things.
magic science.
You do magic science. Eventually, after a little while, Professor Galanadel also returns, assists you with working,
Yeah.
and you get on with it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'd update her on the
Him.
attachment as well. Yeah, insert him. Yeah, sorry. I'd insert. Yeah. Bleh.
Update him,
Can't talk.
yes.
Yeah, update them.
Yeah, so you work with the two professors. Is there anything specific that you want to do during the day, or are you just working on the ongoing project?
I mean, yeah, she's there to keep working. I don't think there's
Yeah,
anything
okay.
specific she does other than.
Yeah, in that case, you just continue to work. You can deposit some charges to charge the A-train if you wish.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, yeah, does it like stick around longer now, basically in the.
You just need less charges to get the desired effect now.
Oh, okay. I guess I might as well put some magic into it then.
Okay.
Do like an 8 and 2 6s.
Okay. Yeah, you dump some magic into the A-tree and start the charging process up. And then I presume you find some accommodation and take a long rest. Do you want to rest at the university, or do you want to rest outside of university grounds?
I think I'd rather be closer to the university grounds.
Okay.
Just so it's easier to grab me if they need to.
Yeah, there's definitely temporary accommodation that they can put you up in.
I don't want to be like. Yeah, I don't want them to have to be running, or me to be running halfway across the city to get to them if something goes wrong.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So yeah, they find some accommodation, put you up, and you take a long rest. What are the rest of you doing for today, if anything?
Well, I guess there are still those letters, like the invitations that have to be written.
Okay.
And well, I'm gonna, because it's gonna be, gonna go all out, wax seal and all that stuff on nice paper.
Okay. Yeah. You spend some time like making nice invitations, like proper formal ones with like Von Dahl's calligraphy, etc. on to give them maximum impression. Excuse me.
Are we allowing like the troops to invite people?
I think if we do that, then because we have quite a few, then the hall is going to be
Yeah.
overflowing.
That's like kind of impractical.
I'm pretty sure they can probably invite people for the tournament, right?
Like I feel like, yeah, like well, the tournament is open for everyone pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
yeah.
there's also very few people like within your regular militia who will be that bothered about the grander goings on about this. Like this is like an executive party at a big company. Like they have the rank and file have very little investment, but your elite troops might appreciate it if you.
Oh yeah, you're right. They should. They might be. Yeah, they should probably get some bonus rights.
I mean, you've already got Gorgo sorted, so it's just the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you open it up to them and they consider it.
Unless Gorgo made some other friends I don't know about.
Oh, Gogo has many friends.
Damn.
Why do I feel like that was friends in quotation marks?
No,
Friends.
Gogo has many friends. Gogo is a sociable and popular person.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me about
she's also,
Gorgo.
it's just that, she's also hella bi, so that's what I assumed, but...
Yeah.
I wrote that down, you know that.
I mean, yes, I know that. I just
I feel like just for practical reasons, that they, like it'll just be like they can have like their family plus one or something.
yes.
You're +1. God.
Like
I know, but
Yeah.
like
Like a
it's
library
kind of
bunny.
like just
Yeah.
in case, you know.
Yeah, you can bring a date.
Yeah. I don't believe Gorko has a date, but yes. Let me consider that for a moment. Because Saber will probably take you up on that. Kada may as well. Gorgo is pretty much already sorted. Lars will consider it. Auden doesn't really have anyone to invite that isn't already coming.
Well,
And neither does Riala, really.
well, you know, like we can't help them if they don't have anyone. But
No,
like
that is true.
God.
Well, like you know, we're not gonna start conjuring people now.
I think Riala considers it and says, "Well, I can think of only one person who'd like to be invited, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea if we should invite them because whilst they are incredibly good at parties, I don't think it's the kind of party that you want."
Oh dear.
Wait, are you suggesting who I think you're suggesting?
She just smiles at you.
Mm. Like, well, like you don't have anyone, so I would allow it. But I think everybody else would appreciate if we leave that for some other time.
The fuck are you talking about?
I think she nods approvingly and says, "Well, we both know that if he really wants to come, he'll invite himself."
True.
Oh fuck. Wait.
Luka.
How did you just clock onto that?
It took me a minute, okay?
Yeah, but you know, yeah, like he'll show up if he wants to, and like it'll be fine.
She smiles and offers a short curtsy and says, "I appreciate the gesture nonetheless."
We'll make sure he, just in case he shows up, we'll be prepared. Hopefully. I don't know if there's any being prepared with Spuck.
She smiles and just like taps the side of her nose knowingly.
Oh no. Well, I guess if that's it, and
Yeah. Does anybody have a scene that they would like to go through? Otherwise, we will skip ahead.
actually, there was one person that, like, I guess, like, you know, that I would, like, I guess, like, we'd give both Sarah and Sadadi a little special treatment as well for reasons, but
Yeah.
Nepotism.
look,
I mean, they're our elite as well. Come on.
they do have a special spot. That's true. But, like, you know, you don't want to show too much. Like, yeah, it's fine. We're going to go ahead and do it anyway.
I feel like everyone knows anyway,
Yeah.
so it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the OGs.
The
Yeah.
OG.
They're also technically higher ranking, but
Yeah, but yeah.
There are officers.
yeah, you can give them the option as well. I think Sadani has to think about it, as does Tallithsyr.
Yeah, 'cause Sidani was like, especially, I was like, I'm not sure who Sidani would invite.
Yeah, because she has family. She's just not entirely sure how much they would be interested in traveling the distance to get here.
Yeah. Like how invested they are in Sidani.
No, she's just gonna set up another double date.
She's another one of the ones among the group of I do this job, but my family don't necessarily approve of me doing this job.
Yeah.
I should probably also mention, like I do tell everybody, like no, avoid strangers that you don't know,
Yeah,
because like there's like most
Strangers.
people will be fine, but there's like at least one person who I'm like they might just pick someone up from the street and be like, you're my date or something along those lines.
Stranger danger.
And like that could be all right, but also I feel like I don't want to accidentally invite the wrong person, a certain cult follower, or certain cultist.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That'd really suck. Let's do a detect magic whenever the guests go in. Make them all
Magical
walk past
metal
Vondal with
detector.
detect magic on.
yeah. I think by the time you finish telling everyone that there's going to be a party and talking about invites, like eventually like the crowd sort of disperses and the last person left is Cal, who is holding a large number of sheets of paper, and he's like, "So I have some ideas."
Yeah.
Yes, Cal.
It's a good thing we have an on-site bard to provide entertainment.
I mean, on-site diplomat. We're being trained.
Diplomat bard.
Diplomatic bard.
Diplo bard.
Diplomat.
Bard.
He's doing
bard.
great.
But yes,
Yeah, they're diplo bard or a bard diplomat.
Yeah,
don't
a
know.
bardomat. No,
Bardomat.
that's terrible.
but Bardomat sounds more appropriate if you're Warforged.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bardomat is like a robot.
Honestly,
I am
it's a
Bardomat
perfect bard name.
5000.
It was
Would you
designed
like a
for being
song?
No.
It doesn't even play the instrument, it just starts playing like from its chest. You just hear
Yep.
da, 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 da. Its hands aren't moving, but it's still holding a harp. It's like, oh, okay.
And it will start playing regardless if you say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get a choice.
It's
Just
just
say our name and
it's just a music box. It's like, I am already wound up. It is too late.
Yeah.
Too
You
late
have
to
to just wait
stop.
for it to wind down. He just stands in the
Oh.
corner. just
You
wait
can't
for him
stop
to-
the beat.
You just say his name. He walks in. Da, 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 da. Like, oh.
Anyway, yeah. Does anyone else have a scene, or we will skip ahead to the next day?
I think I'm good.
Not today's scene.
Okay. Next day rolls around. Elizabeth, you wake up. You head down to the experiment chamber to find the two professors already there, as they get up with the crack of dawn, unlike you.
Look,
Yeah, it's fine. They only sleep for 4 hours a day. It's okay.
true. They are elves.
But yes, they as you approach, they sort of gesture to you to lock the door behind you, which you would have done anyway. But
Well, if they desperately want the door locked, I'm reaching some spells. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Arcane Lock on it.
okay, you cast Arcane Lock on the door.
And yeah, only us three can open it.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
password.
Professor Oakenlock sees this and says, "Good idea." So Professor Glanadell and I have been thinking about what possibly could have happened that this device ended up on the Orrery, and we think we've come to a realization. The day before we discovered the first issue, so 4 days ago now, the laboratories were evacuated as part of a standard drill. We have it every couple of months. It's just to ensure that in the event that something goes wrong, everybody knows what's happening.
Makes sense.
And of course, being senior professors, Professor Glanadell and I were in charge of organising and making sure that everyone had been accounted for and correctly escorted out of the building. I have a recollection of locking the doors, but when it comes back to it, I don't remember what happened to the key or what I did with it. But when we came back, the doors were unlocked.
Well, I guess we know when it happened then.
That's my suspicion. Though, and forgive me for saying this, I'm not like Dean Asherlake. My faculties are all still very much intact. The fact that I would misplace something in that fashion is not something that happens often. And for somebody to... We must have been gone maybe an hour and a half for this entire drill. If somebody managed to take a key from me, make their way inside, secure this device, and escape unnoticed, they must be very well acquainted with both the machine and the practice of making modifications. Far more than, I think, any student that I have ever taught. Well, with the exception of maybe one or two, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, this wasn't just anyone.
Either they had some other form of more educated help, or something more is going on here.
Well, you both saw what I just did. If you notice it's gone, if you can cast it, please do. If not, let me know.
Professor Galanadil says, it's within my skill set, yes.
Yeah. Didn't want to assume, but yes. I've simply made it so that only we may open the door.
It's quite a basic spell, but it will suffice for the purposes.
Yeah. It would also potentially confirm whether or not our dupe is magically inclined. Since if it's gone, we know they can, well, dispel it.
Well, I would assume from the manner of their tampering that they must be. Still, that is sort of beyond the point. Do you think they will come back? I mean, as far as they know, their sabotage is still successful.
Only time can tell on that one, I think. Though... it entirely depends how they found out about this place in the first place.
That's very true.
If they just heard talk from if they've heard talk from students, it's entirely possible that they'd figure out that we fixed it because, well, they'd still know students are going in and seeing it operate. If somehow they've...
That is something I wanted to talk to you about, actually. We had some students scheduled to come in the afternoon, but I can very plausibly fabricate a reason for the session to be cancelled. It might go a ways to distracting our saboteur. If they believe that we are not working on it because it is still non-functional, then it may buy us some time. That being said, Professor Oakenlock and I are not exactly detectives.
No. I didn't want to have to do this, but you are. If you're suggesting this, then yeah, it's probably for the best.
Professor Glandel sort of nods and just says, I think it's a reasonable course of action going forwards. It won't exactly impede our efforts here. We can continue to work on in the meantime, and it gives us a reasonable safety net against potential interference.
And if things carry on like this, I might have to call my friends in just in case.
I think that might be advisable. As I said, Professor Oakenlock and I are not detectives. We also have a schedule to keep. It would be very difficult for us to investigate this without involving other people, and the more people we involve, the more difficult it becomes to narrow down leads, because, as we explain, the more people will know, and thus the search net will naturally make itself larger. Your friends who are already clued in may be a better option.
You know what? Then I'll go back and explain the situation to them then, and maybe hopefully I'm sure I can convince them, but hopefully we can get to the bottom of this sooner rather than later.
The professors both nod.
Don't let the students in today. I will go get them.
Yeah, they both nod and says, we have already discussed the best reasons to cancel the session. I'm sure the students will be disappointed, but it's not the first time that it's happened, and it almost certainly won't be the last.
No. To be honest, though, the fact that they would be disappointed makes me happy in a way. It means they've been enjoying the process.
Professor Oakenlock nods and says, yes, well, it's so rare that you see practical applications for this kind of magic, especially in the more technical sense of things. I mean, we're experimenting here with things that have possibly not been broached since early work on mechanoids in the first age. I'm preaching to the choir here, but you understand the significance of what's going on here, and having a chance as a student to work on this is, yes. Forgive me, I'm wittering on.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Well, with that, I should get back to my schedule. I will inform the students, and let us know when your friends arrive, and perhaps we can discuss with them what has happened. I'm sure you can brief them, but if they have any need of us, then we can assist.
Yes. Out of character, can you write their names down again so I don't forget?
Yes. I'll just copy them directly out of my notes.
Lovely. Yeah. In that case, yeah, presumably they leave. I leave. There's a magic lock.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just... I mean, I'll probably just teleport straight back.
Okay. Bam. You teleport back to the Amber Eagle stronghold, and sure enough, gathered around the mess hall are your 3 companions eating breakfast.
Lovely. I mean, I guess. I guess she'd probably like wait till they're leaving, and just grab them as they're leaving. Let them eat at least first.
Oh yeah, you can wait until they're all finished.
Yeah.
So
Until they've eaten and are leaving the hall, at which point I will just say, "Hi, me again. We might need to talk."
yeah, okay. So we cut back to the 3 of you. You all finish your breakfast after the morning's training. You step outside the mess hall to find Elizabeth waiting for you.
Well, you're back. You're back quick.
Yeah.
Is everything all right? Oh.
What's happened?
It's better I explain in private.
That's mildly concerning, but all right.
At which point I'm guessing. I mean, at which point Elizabeth will either like make to the new war room, wherever that is.
Yep. Yeah, you cross the courtyard.
And yeah, once everyone's in, she basically, like, yeah, she just relays what happens. I'm not, like, you all heard it. I'm not.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
feel the need to repeat myself.
Elizabeth explains the situation to you.
And then she just goes, so yeah. The professors are suitably concerned, and that's reason enough for me to be concerned as well.
This sounds like it might be sabotage again. Because like it wouldn't be the first time it's happened.
I mean, my brain immediately jumped to, well, Dread Legion. I couldn't say
Well-
the professors, of course, but
Well, on one hand, I that was my first thought as well. However, there might be more people who don't want this kind of thing happening. Admittedly, there probably aren't that many people monitoring us.
the point is, it's either someone within at least some degree of authority within the college who doesn't want it happening, or it's the Dread Legion. I can't think of anybody else at the moment.
Well, the only not sure. I don't think this is how they'd go about it, but like we were warned that the genies might not be happy.
I mean, my understanding is they probably wouldn't have gone with something so subtle.
Yeah,
That's not really their style.
Elizabeth, knowing the stories of your parent, subtlety in revenge is not a genie thing.
Yeah, she'd probably just say, from what my parent has told me, they'd be more likely to steal the atrium and leave a note saying, "Don't take our stuff again," and literally writing their name on it.
Well, actually, probably more likely they would arrive when you're right in the middle of using it, transfigure you all into amusing animals, take the atrium, laugh a lot, and then leave.
Wow.
So yeah, that.
That-
Don't think it's not the genies. Besides, none of them were using it anyway.
No, but that's not the reason why they wanted it, or there'd be not the reason why they'd be upset.
No. But regardless, yeah, it's not them.
Doesn't seem like their modus operandi, at least.
No.
I mean, God, wait, I can't even remember. Was there anybody at the college who was like really, really opposed to it?
I think none of them were opposed to money.
Yeah, most of them
Great.
were like, "Why should we help you?" And then Grim put a big bag of money on the table, and then they were like, "How can we help you?"
Okay, fantastic.
It was
The only person who was a little bit iffy about it was Professor Lauren, but Professor Lauren seemed to want to get unpromoted as a result of it.
Speaking of, how has that been going?
That's a good point.
What do you mean? How's it
like-
been going?
Has progress been made on her being unpromoted?
Not enough time has passed yet.
Oh, okay. A few months is not
Like,
enough.
yeah, like,
Our
Lady
school's going slowly.
Lady of Felkia. I mean, bureaucracy.
Oh god. Good point.
And it's elven bureaucracy, so they're not in a hurry.
Yeah, I was gonna say also elves,
Oh,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
like they have even less of a sense of urgency than
Bureaucracy's
like
slow
humans
enough,
would.
but yeah.
Yeah,
They're like, whatever.
Like,
got a
we
few
don't need to
hundred
get
Not like
this
at
because-
least 100 years.
Yeah, we can wait a couple decades. It's fine.
yeah.
God.
But yeah, like Lady of Felkia has said she will look into it, but finding a suitable candidate to replace the head of abjuration is
Not a small task.
not a small task.
Hey guys, maybe when we defeat the Dread Legion, maybe I can do it.
If you want to volunteer,
Yeah, I'm
We'll
sure
we'll see what the
take
future
you,
holds.
it would hold up your end of the bargain.
Mm.
Yeah, not wrong.
I don't think Elizabeth's responsible to be the head of a magic school department. She's only 20.
Maybe give it a couple years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe wait until she's 40 at least. But anyway. But yeah. At which point she probably just like, yeah, Elizabeth probably then speaks up. It's just like, so can I drag you all up there to help?
Well, I guess so we don't have much else to do.
It is in your continued interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Also
too.
that.
Wonder what we can do.
Do you think that whoever did it will try again?
Depends how invested they were, I suppose.
Hmm.
If it is the extremely unlikely situation in which a student just decided to play a bit of a joke, then no. But the very fact that they
Seems-
waited for that drill,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a student just fucking around.
no.
No. How hard is it to get something like that?
That's a good question, DM Ferrous.
How easy is it to get something? Almost impossible. How easy is it to make something? Very difficult. But probably easier than it is to obtain something.
Okay.
But it would be pretty hard either way.
Yes, you would need proficiency in Artificer's tools to even attempt to construct it.
Interesting. Okay. So the possibility of it being a student who did it completely on their own is more and more unlikely.
Yes.
And even if it was a student who did it, they definitely
Yeah.
had somebody else helping them, or directing them, or directing them.
Bear in mind that the only reason Elizabeth is able to construct the orrery in the beginning is the fact that she has extensive knowledge on the magic school in question. She has two other experts helping her. She has access to the university's artificers, and she has a boatload of funding.
Yeah. that
And
makes sense.
and we have a magic crystal that we stole from literally another dimension
That's also true.
Yes, but
or another
Yeah.
plane of existence.
admittedly, building a diffuser is not that difficult. But like the level of skill required is you would need to be good at artificing to even begin to think about contemplate to begin constructing one of them. And yeah, installing it as well was difficult. It took you an hour and a half knowing the machine to be able to take it apart. To put it in less than an hour and a half is impressive.
Unless they know the machine.
Even then.
Even then. Anyway.
Yeah, I would imagine it's easier to disassemble in most cases than to put together.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
That is true.
Yes, this was a sabotage done by somebody skilled. That much is evident.
Hmm.
So yeah. Assuming you guys will help. Shall we go?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm thinking if we need to bring anything before we go. I don't think there is anything, but like, wait, is there anything we need?
Is there any thief tools? I don't know. Those keep coming up every now and
Yeah,
again.
you're right. We should.
Didn't we invest in getting some?
Well, we haven't had
Not
the
yet,
time.
not yet.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
like-
let's just take a quick jaunt into town, get some
Yeah.
shit, and then leave.
Well,
I think
Arya's pretty much already always geared up. You two probably have to like grab some stuff. So, like Arya or me and Arya or whoever could just go to town, buy some thieves' tools, and come back.
Yeah.
climbing
Yeah.
kits and thieves'
While you
tools.
guys, like,
Also,
yeah, while you guys get all your stuff.
I want to point out you won't be able to walk into town and buy thieves' tools. You'll be able to walk into town and buy a locksmith kit.
Well,
Hmm.
whatever
You
works.
know, well, you know,
Close
it
enough.
will be like an assortment of tools that
I just want
combine
to pick the
into.
lock. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I want the
Yeah.
ability to do.
Which would probably be found in a locksmith.
Yes.
Indeed.
I mean, functionally, it's the same thing. I'm just saying.
But
Name makes a difference.
Anyway, I would like to do that.
Yep. Sure.
let's see, thieves' kits, climbing kits. Is there anything else that has come up recently or repeatedly? Elf. There is there?
Not that's coming to mind right now.
Nothing that we probably also couldn't get from like the capital if we really, really needed it.
Yeah.
Ah, that's also true.
Yeah.
Because most of our
Um,
specialized stuff is stuff that we carry with us anyway when we go places.
In fact, it might be easier to find thieves' tools in the capital.
Quality might be superior. You know, elves and stuff.
Yeah, get the elves some actual elven tools.
Yeah, in theory.
Like, you know,
I mean-
I don't expect it to make it a
Yeah,
mechanical difference. but-
mechanically it doesn't make a difference, but yes, in theory, like it might be easy to find in the capital itself. But yeah, either way, you can buy thieves' tools for 25 gold, and you can buy climbing kits.
Cheap as chips.
Where is climbing kit?
Like the climbing kits are
25
surprising.
gold for thieves' tools?
25 gold for thieves' tools. Yeah,
Like it's it's finely crafted tools.
it ain't cheap.
Yeah.
That is so expensive. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Contains a small file, a set of lockpicks, a small mirror mounted on a metal handle, a set of narrow-bladed scissors, and a pair of pliers.
Honestly, like 20 gold of that kit is probably the mirror.
Yep, probably.
Yeah, probably. Or like at least 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like mirrors are expensive,
Yeah.
especially those, because I'm pretty sure those are still silver backed.
Yeah, especially in our time.
Climbing kit costs the same as well, 25 gold.
Okay. Well, I'll keep the thieves' tools on me unless anyone has any interest in them
I think-
being in the bag.
You can hold on to them. Like honestly, you're the person most likely to be in the situation.
I think you are the person with the best decks by a long shot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, considering I have, just casually 22 decks.
Yeah,
Literally
true.
superhuman decks.
you literally have superhuman dexterity.
It's a little more, and you can rival the gods.
But the climbing
I
kits we
mean,
can just put in.
You have better
though.
decks than I think all dragons, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I think
I'll
you have better
backflip
decks.
around the dragons.
I'm pretty sure 20 is better than all dragons, though, but whatever.
It's gonna be close, but regardless,
I think
it's,
you have an extra +2 on all dragons.
it's pretty good.
But yeah, the climbing tools or the climbing kits we can just keep in the bag.
Yeah. How many climbing kits are you gonna get?
Should we just get 2? I think 2 should
Yeah,
be
that's-
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then like,
Cool. So you're spending 75 gold.
yes, it's just an awkward breakpoint. That's fine.
Okay. With that, you get geared up, and Elizabeth teleports you to the academy.
Swoop.
Where's it gone? I can tell her. There we go. Okay. In the city. So yeah, you all arrive at the top of the tower in the teleport circle. Make your way down.
I have to open the door.
You do, yes. Nobody else is able to open the door except for Elizabeth. But yes, Elizabeth takes you, and I think for the first time, all of you get to witness this grand device. Essentially, sitting in the middle of this stone chamber in the ground floor level research labs of the academy is essentially like a series of like C-shaped metal brass arms that are sort of that seem to be able to like move and rotate within each other to like form almost like a spidery orb. Like even those of you who are not magically attuned can feel that this thing, like it has like a magical quality to itself. Like it like emanates an innate magic power. It is quite impressive to look at.
You just put in my head now the mental image of the that Dwemer contraption that the Elder Scroll is in Skyrim.
Kind of, yes.
Which pressing loads of buttons and it's like spinning around.
Not quite as like.
Big.
Not quite as well. Yeah, not as big and not as like sort of.
Animated.
Yeah, a bit less animated, a bit less like a lot less like blown glass nonsense.
Yeah. Whatever was going on with that thing.
Yeah, but yes, similar sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, she'd probably actually like produce the little diffuser again at this point and just say, probably won't be of any help to you guys finding anything, but this was attached to it, and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, again, like the thing she produces, it's like a small brass square with a couple of like cogwheels in it, and essentially like a small crystal that makes up the center of it.
Well, you say that's not going to be of use, but I think it could potentially be the key to finding who did this.
Oh, Grim, are you proficient in Tinker's tools?
Yes, I am.
Could you roll that for me?
Sure.
I mean, yeah. Either way, like hearing Grim say that, Elizabeth would probably like hand it to Grim and say,
Yeah.
Well, if you can find them.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it's you give it a quick once over, and whilst your arcane understanding of it is limited to what Elizabeth has told you, there is one thing that immediately stands out to you, and that is that none of the parts have any maker's mark on them.
Yes.
Which means this was explicitly manufactured for this purpose by someone.
And that is how I was hoping we might figure out who did this by figuring out.
Who
Because,
made it?
well, like, you know, this kind of gear requires some equipment to
Yes.
make. Like, you can't just make these delicate tools.
Yes,
Yeah.
this thing was not like bought and sold commonplace. This was explicitly manufactured, presumably by someone local. Like that you can't tell from the specific components, but it's reasonable to assume that somebody manufactured it here with the express purpose of using it.
Well, hopefully that
Nope.
should make it easier to find.
Should. But, like, I think there are a few things that we can focus on. Because, like, I imagine the crystal is not like it. Like, how rare is the crystal that they used?
It is a common gemstone. Like it is basically like a subset of quartz.
Okay, yeah, that's.
It is the cutting and the construction that is the important part about it.
Yeah, well, I was hoping it contained a rare material, so it would be easier to track. But
Yes, unfortunately not.
just very delicate
Yeah.
work.
Probably also worth noting that the gemstone itself is rough cut. Like it's not.
Oh,
It's not well refined. So whoever created it is probably didn't buy the quartz cut already, and probably did it themselves.
And
With-
we're not a gem cutter.
Yeah, with reasonably reasonably large tools as well. Like it's not fine cut by any stretch of the imagination. In contrast, the grips themselves are that holds the gemstone in place are like hand machined, basically.
yes.
So yeah, you are looking for somebody proficient in tinkering with a very deft hand.
So,
On the plus side,
Well-
you don't know many elven tinkers.
no, but like, I doubt the person making this, considering there's no stamps on it, want to, well, make themselves known.
Yeah.
However,
If it's locally made, surely we can ask around and find out who even would be able to make
Yes.
something like this.
Yeah.
That would certainly be a starting point.
that is what I was thinking. The main thing I was wondering is if we want to do it under the guise of something else. Like,
How do you mean?
let's say we wanted we're looking for a I'm not sure what would require similar quality, but let's say a tiny precision clockwork something that would require skill to make, at least. It's like your people will be more willing to out themselves for okay, can I help you with this innocent project, instead of did you craft this illegal well, not technically illegal object, but this device used to sabotage.
So you're saying we approach it from the view of we want to purchase something similar.
We're a customer.
Yeah,
Well,
or
we're
something
gonna-
of like similar complexity or quality, because it'll give us an idea of if they could have actually done it.
Like the complexity requirement is probably the biggest one.
I mean, there's probably parts to the machine that could be complex enough, right?
Well, any clockwork timing mechanism would be
Yeah.
complex enough.
Yeah, well, there you go then.
A timekeeper.
We need a watchmaker.
Uh,
Can anyone make a watch?
well,
Have
I guess.
Have we invented watches yet?
Well, if they could make watches, they'd probably be proficient with quartz as well.
That is very true.
Yeah, good point. So we're not looking for a
Yeah.
watchmaker. Somebody makes a
well-
metronome.
Well, I'll come up with the specifics, but till then we
Yeah.
could just search for skilled tinkerers.
Yeah.
There should be some options. Well, I hope there are no options, but except for one, that
I
would
hope
be
there's only
great.
one obvious option.
Yeah. We want there to be precisely one skilled tinkerer in the entire city.
That would be great. But hey, I'm here, so there's two.
It's like precisely one gnome who lives in who lives in the lower district or something. That's what we want.
That said, that might very well be possible. But shall we get started on that then?
Yeah.
Because we analyzed the component. You checked the room, didn't you?
I sweep the room at the time for any signs of magic.
Then, we discovered their points of entry, so I guess there's not much else we can discover here.
And there's only 3 people that can even open the goddamn door to get in. Unless they can dispel magic.
Wait, can't you also pick the lock with like a ridiculous DC?
Not with arcane lock.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it can only be opened via dispelling the
Is
spell
that a
itself.
challenge?
It can only be opened-
My 22
Oh
dex
no!
says
No!
differently.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay, I vaguely
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, the
we
object is
go.
more difficult to break or force open. DC to make any pick
Well,
on
now
any
I
locks
wanna
on it
try it.
increases by 10.
So yeah, so it was
that's like what, at minimum DC 20?
most likely. If not, then it was a really shitty lock.
Yeah. DC 5 lock. It's like, oh, who the
It's
fuck
like-
put this on?
It was decorative.
But yeah,
Well, now I
other than
want to
that,
try it.
it's
Can I try
yeah.
it just for shits and grins?
Well, I guess if we have time, but well, I guess we have
Well,
some time.
Sorry, what does it add to the lock's DC?
10.
10. And what you don't have proficiency in thieves' tools, do you?
No.
I don't think you can beat it.
Damn it.
Damn.
I want to though.
Literally can't
The
roll high enough.
biggest out.
Hang on, I need to
It was
do.
a +6. I'm guessing, like, I'm guessing the lock is like a 15, maybe. So then, like, there will be 25 to beat 19, 20. But like, not that
Maybe
we
it's
gain any.
Maybe it's higher than 15.
But like, regardless, we have. Well, I guess it might
What if it
be
was
because-
already a DC 20 lock?
It was not already a DC 20 lock.
like a master
God.
crafted lock.
We should have put a DC 20 lock on there given what's in here. Fucking hell, this thing's expensive.
That's true.
This thing's valuable. While we're out, let's buy a DC 20 lock.
I
mean-
don't know if we can buy one of those.
A DC 20 lock is like a master crafted lock with like tumblers and shit.
Exactly.
Fancy.
I don't think you can open that with a singular key.
Grim, find us a locksmith.
Quick.
Well,
Fun fact,
perhaps.
there was a Victorian locksmith once who got so annoyed with people not flushing his toilet that he literally made a lock that was impossible to open unless you flush the toilet.
Wow. That's a lot. Also, how many people on average were flushing his toilet? What's going on?
Just one really frustrated wife.
Yeah, no one was flushing his toilet, so he literally made it impossible to exit his bathroom unless you flush the toilet.
That is not a problem I can ever imagine occurring. But
Yeah.
fortunately,
At that point, why not just make the toilet flush every time you open the door?
Well, because he was a
Is that-
locksmith, he doesn't
True.
know he doesn't know that many mechanisms.
also that would
just
be a
knows
waste of
locks.
water. Because then every time
Yeah.
you like enter the bathroom, you flush the toilet.
Yeah, you just flush it on entry as well.
But that said, well, do we want to see how Arya does? Just because,
Sure.
Go for it.
like,
All right. What do I
We
roll?
Just roll. You just roll your dexterity.
Oh my god, that
Oh,
sucks
no.
so much.
We
Oh.
Well,
break
let's
the
hope, I
thieves'
wonder if
tools.
the standard DC was 2, so you're in. No.
No.
God, could you imagine?
That'd be really shitty.
I'd be so mad.
So Arya, you spend like maybe 15 minutes trying to like fiddle with this lock that Elizabeth has put on the door just to test its durability. And every time it feels like remotely close, like you're getting to the point where you're like, yes, I can turn this first tumbler within the lock. You like reach in with the lockpick, turn it, and then like something pushes back and like forces the lockpick out of your hand, and you just hear the tumblers go click click and just turn back again.
And if only I had.
This goes on for 15 minutes.
Because
No,
Arya's stubborn.
practice makes
Yes.
perfect, right?
Oh yeah, this is how Arya gets proficient. I just cast arcane locks on things.
Yeah,
which you
I
keep
just
trying.
keep picking them.
Yeah.
I
It's the equivalent of like in Oblivion where you just click auto attempt and just go until you get high enough or you get lucky.
But,
Anyway,
well, I guess step one is where on earth do we find a craftsman of such fine quality?
Well, we could always ask around the market.
yes, the market would be the best place to start.
That would be a good start.
And
Although
regular
I
shoppers
have-
would probably have seen the shop if there is a shop, or a stall if it's a stall.
I am mildly concerned that this might not be just a stall or a shop, but we should probably check them first, regardless.
Yeah.
Also, if we find a tinkerer, tinkerers might know more tinkerers.
No, that's not
That's
right.
true.
People do
Like-
know
If
the
we
people within
find
their
one
field.
and they can't do it, they could be like, "Oh yeah, but this guy,
This guy.
this guy."
Okay. Go
Guy is my man. He knows the real complex shit.
as a group. Somebody who is whoever wants to lead it, make me a investigation roll.
Not
And-
me.
And
Not
anybody,
me.
anyone else who is
Well-
proficient in investigation can assist.
Look, I will give it a go because
I mean, I have
What
a plus
else?
12 investigation.
it's fine. Well, I guess I have a +9. I guess you can do it.
Yay.
Well, are you? But are either of you proficient in investigation?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I would assume
Okay.
both of them are with those bonuses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty high bonus.
So either can do it, and the other can assist.
My answer is a plus 12, please.
Oh, well, like I said, go ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
28. Where's that tinkerer?
Okay. So you ask around the marketplace looking for clockwork mechanisms. I need to roll some dice.
Bring out the gnomes.
Bring out your gnomes.
Bring out your gnomes.
No, wait,
Please.
that's the wrong dice size. Hang on.
I can't help but imagine a little cart where all the gnomes get yeeted onto.
Oh god!
What?
Please do not yeet the gnomes.
Don't you remember the infamous quote, "Yeet gnome singles in your area"?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Come
Okay.
God.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, now that's made my brain just think of the hot shingles in your area looking to get nailed.
Oh
Wow.
god.
Oh my god.
Isn't that like a genuine advert someone had, but they're like roofers?
Yes.
Ugh.
So, after asking around, you are really struggling to find anyone proficient in like mechanisms, because nobody seems to be remotely interested in it in Elven society, from what you can tell.
Ah!
They've got magic. Why
Ash.
do they need clockwork?
Yeah, the desire for clockwork this far north is slim to none.
Yeah, they've got magic lifts. They don't need.
Yes, they are still very much like as sort of like a wider lore note. Like the elves are very much still ingrained in the whole sense of if it can't be done with magic, it's not worth doing.
Damn.
Well then.
That's elves for you.
Hmm.
However, this investigation does lead you to two individuals. Not directly to them, but to knowledge of their existence. One of whom is, in fact, a gnome who lives in the lower district.
Nailed it.
A gnome who runs a business by the designation Decaric. Try that again. Decaric Mystical and Mechanical Solutions.
Goodness.
I'm guessing that like the business itself is in the lower district as well.
It seems to be run out of whatever premises he has in the lower district.
Okay. Who's the other person?
The other person is a name that you hear, very, very briefly in passing from one merchant that you are asking, which is an elf by the name of Tia Amakia. Who is less of like more is less of like the business side of tinkering, but is more like a creator of curios and eccentricities by Elven standards, and has like an interest in like constructing like grand machines, etc. Sort of they from the way the vendor introduces or like mentions them to you, they're sort of like they're almost like a Doc Brown figure, where they're like they are an eccentric individual who lives in a grand manor in the Imperial District and has an obsession with trying to build machines, and everyone thinks they're a little bit nuts.
They'll laugh, but one day he'll make a DeLorean go to the past.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And for some reason they'll call them film. They'll I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he'll do when he gets a DeLorean, but they'll do something.
Yeah.
I almost feel like
I will put out Tia is feminine, but
I was gonna say I think it's a girl, but we shouldn't assume pronouns.
Also true.
I was just
that
making
is
reference
true.
to
They do not their pronouns are not stated anywhere, but that is how you spell their name.
I was very close. Can you also spell the name of the other person, please? Or the name that their thing goes by?
Yes.
their business.
Decaric mystical mechanical solutions.
Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on.
Classic gnomes. Long name.
Yeah, for real.
Well, that's
Outside
the
of
name
my-
of his business, so.
Yeah. Which district is closer?
You're in the market district, so neither. They're on opposite
Yeah, but
ends.
which part of the market
Yeah, but
district are we in? Which side of it?
Before, like, we're not going to base it on proximity. Like,
No.
I think there's a few questions we should ask ourselves, because we know a couple of, there are a few things that we need to, decide. Do they have do they have the arcane knowledge to pull this off as well? Because or did they already just fed instructions on how to make it?
Well, honestly, if we're going by who we think at least who we think is more likely to have actually made the thing, then I think we need to take a little visit to Decaric Mystical and Mechanical Solutions. I mean, he does have mystical and mechanical in the name.
That is what I was thinking.
I don't know. I have the
But
opposite opinion, but
but
honestly, I feel like we'll end up talking to both of them anyway.
Yeah, but what I said, I was thinking the same. That makes sense. However, what I'm guessing, Luka was thinking, the other one seems to be interested in grand mechanical contraptions, and it's a pretty grand mechanical contraption, and this would be and apparently, the skill that would be required to make this integrate as well as it did, it would be quite something. That would be a challenge. Sounds like the kind of thing that I could appreciate.
Like I said, I think we'll end up talking to both of them anyway, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just which one first. Because I'm also thinking, let's say they're not the one to do, if they weren't the one to actually do the sabotaging, they just made the thing. Or were paid to do the thing or whatever, what's a rich person in the Imperial District with a weird hobby gonna do with the money? They've probably got plenty of money already. They live in the Imperial District, for God's sake.
I don't think they're in it for the money. At least not that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I think when you do this kind of thing, I guess beliefs might also be a thing to worry about. But that said,
but then also, if they have an interest in the grand mechanical machines, why would they want to sabotage one?
Well,
manipulating a machine is quite fascinating.
Yeah. True.
And honestly, do they even know what they're making it for? I don't know.
Yeah, they could have just been asked to make, or asked/paid, or whatever, to make the thing, but not know what it was being used for.
Do you want to try? So I'm guessing you guys want to try the Tia first, then.
It It doesn't really matter to me either way.
I think, like that said, like the gnome might be less, draw less attention to us, because that's an actual store and not a hobbyist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of am leaning. Try to sentence again. I'm kind of leaning towards going to the gnome first.
Fair enough then.
Plus,
But
maybe I get some
not
bonus gnome
strongly.
points.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna have. Yeah, okay.
What?
I said maybe I
Get a
get
bonus
bonus
because
gnome
of the gnome.
points.
Oh god.
Bonus brownie points.
Fine.
You
No,
could
he's
be
a
like,
gnome.
fellow tinkerer, and he'll be like, whoa!
Look, I've played that card before, even if it
That's
wasn't
true.
quite the same gnome.
Okay, so you are heading to try and locate the Carrick mystical and mechanic. Oh, fuck me! I hate. Why did I name it
Mystical
this?
and mechanical solutions.
Why do I make my own life difficult?
Because
The
you
Carrick
Yeah,
mystical
man.
and mechanical solutions.
You had to commit to the gnome.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe
Okay.
we should just call him DC MMS.
No.
Well, that's probably not his name.
Well, no, but yeah, call the shop DC MMS.
Right. In that case, we will take a short break, and when we return, we will head over.